Hey guys, welcome back to Darth Snoogen's Toy Reviews. Today we are going to take a look at Savage He-Man and Skelegod. If you watched the last video with the different versions of Orko, then you got a glimpse of Savage He-Man, because I've already taken our Orko out. We looked at him on the last video. So for this one we're going to actually get the Savage He-Man out. And then we're going to compare him to Skelegod, because if you watched Masters of the Universe Revelation, then you know that these two characters have a big battle after basically He-Man's resurrected. So let's go ahead and get him out. Now, if you saw this before, you know this is opened at the top. Just cut the tape there. Go ahead and slide him out. Put that out of the way and get a good glimpse of him. It's actually a pretty nice looking figure. He comes with a spear, he's got the power sword, he's got the axe, and this axe is a little different than other versions because it's all like damaged. He's also got some extra hands. So let's see, does he have... Looks like we can pull him right out. Get him out. And again, Mattel with their weird poses on these figures. Kind of strange. So the first thing you notice with him is the paint. He's got that wash on his body that gives him like he's dirty, which makes me think of that 40th anniversary He-Man that I guess they're now doing some changes to. It looks like they used a lot of the same paint work on it. It's kind of weird. He's got the big feet instead of boots. You see his bare feet. Just a very menacing looking version of He-Man. Let's go ahead and get some of his accessories out here. Like I said, we've got really big battle axe. We've got a power sword, a spear, and then we have the right fist for holding, I guess I could say gripping hand, and left gripping hand. Let's get that plastic out the way. Alright, so in the package he's just got these open hands that I guess it kind of makes sense when you see the series, why they've got him why they have him with these hands like this. Him and Skeletor really go at it. Alright, let's go ahead and swap them out though, because I want to put some of the weapons in his hands. Let's take a little closer look at his weapons. Here's the spear. It's pretty nice. It's interesting how that's very glossy on the tip. We have his battle axe, which has some nice damage detail on it. And his power sword, which unfortunately in the package got a little warped, so I gotta let that warm up and straighten out. Nothing super special about it. Alright, so it's a very nice figure. Very well sculpted, a lot of detail to it. For it to be such a basic figure with, you know, not a lot of clothing, they actually did a pretty cool job on it. I think I actually like that better than the regular release He-Man, especially the head. The long hair looks kind of cool on this figure. So let's set him to the side here and let's take a look at our Skeletor, or Skelegod, I should say. This is what happens when Skeletor gets all the power of Castle Grayskull and takes He-Man's sword and holds it up and says, "By the power of Grayskull." So, like I said, if you haven't watched that show, you should check it out just to see some of these weird character dynamics. Alright, so I cut the tape at the top. We'll flip the lid down. We're going to slide him out. It's a very, very wild character design. You can tell a lot of work went into sculpting this. It's actually probably one of the best figures in this line, just based on how much work was done on it. Let's see what is all holding him in. Oh, look, he's got a cloth cape. He's got quite a few ties holding him into the package. See if I can get those cut out here real quick. Alright, so I got his ties out. Just all the work, all the detail in this thing is just wild. Alright, so for accessories, Skelegod has this little blast effect, spell, binding, whatever. Not a fan of those things. You got extra hands. And he also comes with He-Man's Power Sword. So they're getting a lot of mileage out of this mode based on how many figures have actually been released with it so far. But one of those extra hands can actually hold it, so that's cool. Alright, so there's our side-by-side comparison. Savage He-Man and Skelegod. And before we get into all the articulation, since we do have them side by side, let's go ahead and get a quick measurement just so we can see where these boys are standing at. Let's see. So our Savage He-Man, he's 7 inches right on the money. And it's a little trickier with the Skelegod because of the way his armor is. But top of his helmet, you're at I'm getting 8 3/4 or 7 3/4, and probably a little bit closer to 8 with the spikes on his shoulder. Very nice figures. All right, so we're going to start with articulation on our Savage He-Man. So he's got that bicep spin there. He's got elbow, wrist, and you can actually pivot the wrist as well as spin it. He's got the ab crunch. You can turn him at the waist. He actually has a rotation up to his thigh. You got the double jointed knees. You have rotation at the ankle. And then you got full movement on the foot as well. So I like that they're adding so much articulation to these figures, but the problem I see with that is the more articulation you get, the harder these things are to just really have a basic stance and be able to pose. Not necessarily pose, but to be able to display them, because unless you've got some of the high-end figure stands, sometimes these things just don't want to stand up. Now they do have hole pegs on the bottom of the feet. I'm not sure if some of the NECA stands will work with these or not. I haven't tried it. I have some. I should probably check that out. This is a nice action figure. And I think I really like this version better than our standard He-Man. Because the standard He-Man, it's boring. Yeah, he's got his bare feet makes me think of Matt Riddle. Like he's gonna bust an RKO on Skeletor. Alright, so let's bring in Skelegod. Now he's got a lot more going on with him. Take the sword out of his hand. You've got that rotation on the head, and the way the head is, it's just, I mean, it's on that little ball, but it's a lot smaller because that neck is so big. You've got it's basically the same structure underneath all this. It's just got a lot of embellishments, a lot of add-ons. So it is a standard Masterverse body under here. Yeah, so knees. Now he doesn't have double jointed knees like Savage He-Man. It's got that ball socket foot. You can remove all this stuff, which is cool, like his cape that just came off. Now, one thing I saw earlier when I was swapping the hands out, If you pop the hand off, you can take the little gauntlets off. You could really get into some fun customs with these guys. Now, as far as this piece, let me see. There we go. Now this is a whole different looking version of Skelegod right here. And let's see, do these come off? I don't think these pieces right here are actually molded onto the ankle. You can't take those off. But this waistband, I'm not exactly sure how they have that attached, but that doesn't look like that's coming off. But I dig the harness, which is how they were attaching the cape. That's a neat idea. So it is a little different from the standard body. You do have these pieces that are actually molded onto the arms. They do not come off. But other than that, it seems to be the same standard body that most of the Masterverse figures are using. At least most of the male Masterverse figures are using. Alright, that's pretty neat. Now, for funsies, the hair on the head is going to make this difficult, but it's a fun idea. Savage He-Man just needs something to do. He's very, very plain. Do kind of like the gauntlets on him. That's kind of neat. So yeah, we're getting into some very different videos here than what we set out. So let's get it all back on track here. Alright, so there we go. We got our Savage He-Man and our Skelegod, and as you can see, you can take parts off of them and swap them around. Kind of fun. I'm not covering anything new here. I'm sure a lot of you who collect these figures have already done a lot of this. But if you are new to this stuff and you're new to this line and you're thinking, why do I want that Savage He-Man? Hopefully this video will help you out a little bit. It'll help you decide if it's something for you or if you want to pass on it. I certainly understand it's not for everybody. I'm not really a big fan of the Masterverse line in general, but I have picked up a few figures, and I can't help it. I'm a fan of Masters of the Universe. Alright, what do you guys think? Do you like this line? Do you like these figures? Make sure to sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think about these guys. Give me a like if you could. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody watching. Have a great day.